Hey guys, welcome to Deal Makers. I am so excited today. I have an investor, rehabber, flipper, wholesaler, Bobby Suarez from Housing Investment Group. I just had the pleasure of having lunch with this guy, talking about investments, wholesale deals, the market here in South Florida. Brother, I know you're super busy. Thank you for being a few minutes with me today.
No problem, man.
How are you? Everything good?
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So Bobby is, like I said, he's an investor, wholesaler, rehabber. He does a lot of deals here in South Florida. Bobby, in a minute, tell me a little bit about you, who you are, what do you do?
So my name's Bobby Suarez. My primary business is buy properties, fix them up, and resell them. We currently have right now 2 offices. So I buy from Homestead all the way to Port St. Lucie. And then I have an office in Orlando, which we pretty much cover from Daytona Beach all the way to Tampa and the entire Orlando market.
Awesome. He's also a hard money lender. So any investors out there looking for loans and looking for deals, this is a great guy to be in contact with, and his contact information will be down below through the entire talk. Bobby, before we get started, guys, if you like what you're listening to, Deal Makers every Wednesday, subscribe to the channel below. What is your perspective today in the South Florida market? And I like to ask this question to everybody because everybody has a different point of view. What's your point of view here?
So the market, I think it's still good. I think it's already correcting in certain areas depending on the price range. So I think anything that's selling for like north of 500 grand, depending on the area and depending on the rehab and the quality of the house, it'll sell if you have an amazing house with nice finishes. But if you're trying to sell a house that has average finishes and you're trying to get 700-800 grand, it's going to be a lot harder to do now. So if you're an investor or you're a fix and flipper, it's going to be a lot harder to ride the wave right now. You got to buy smart and do good finishes so your property would sell properly and not sit on the market.
Awesome. You are an investor and you have some deals coming in. What is the first thing you do? Somebody presents you an opportunity. Hey, I want to sell this house, or you get a lead saying somebody, hey, okay, I want to make an offer. What is your process like? Tell me a little bit about how you process your leads, how you analyze the property, how you do your numbers. What is the first thing you do?
So if it's like a property that's relatively local, if it's like within an hour of our office or our office in Orlando, we try to always schedule an appointment beforehand.
Okay.
And if they're not really motivated, they don't care to really schedule an appointment, then we'll just try to give them an offer right away, and we'll underwrite the deal and give them an offer based on what on the size of the property or what makes sense. So yeah, we always try to make an appointment to try to build rapport with the seller. And I think we have better chances of nailing the deal if we meet with them in person.
Awesome. And how do you analyze the numbers? What's your criteria? What is your bread and butter? Not location-wise, obviously. These video can be seen anywhere in the country. But what's your type of property? What specifically are you looking for?
My ideal property would be anything that's fee simple. So single-family houses, fee simple townhouses. Anything multifamily from 1 to 20 units really is what we've done before. As long as it's affordable product. Right now we're trying to sell houses that I could acquire for under $250 and not sell for more than 400 grand.
Awesome. We were talking here in lunch that there's a new wave of investors coming in every single day, every single week. What would you say? What would you tell the new investor that wants to get in, or somebody that is interested in the real estate market? What would you tell him today?
Man, put in the work, put in the time. A lot of people want to get into the business now and want to become a millionaire or make 6 figures and not put in the work. So dude, work 7 days a week if you need to. Try to get a mentor or somebody that could guide you. That way you don't have to hit your head against the wall a lot of times.
Which happened to me a lot.
And that's what I would do, man. Try to find a good mentor that's honest, that could give you valuable information, that could really help you out. Possibly partner up on deals with that type of person.
Okay.
That's good. And just put in the work, man. Awesome. I see a lot of people now that they want to work a few hours a day and be posting pictures on their flashy cars or rental private jet and you know, and they're not really making any money or making moves. You know?
Exactly, which we were also talking about the Shit Happens episodes on Fridays on my YouTube channel. I'm talking the raw shit that happens in business, the way it is. I mean, I want to be as real as I can. Shit happen in business is not as easy and nice and beautiful as they show on TV. What is one thing that maybe you would consider like, oh my God, shit happened? Like, what would be one of your situations that something happened to you? Let's be real here. Something happened to you, you lost money, or you lost a deal, or you lost a relationship, or somebody acted in a bad way in your business. But most importantly, not just what happened, what did you learn from it? And how did you overcome that?
Man, I mean, well, the things that always go wrong, I mean, when you think things are going to go right, that's when they go wrong, you know. Okay. So you just got to have all, you know, everything. You're kind of playing chess. You got to know what your next moves are going to be in advance, and just try to minimize risk, man. And I mean, for example, with me, where sometimes we lose money is we didn't do the math correctly on a rehab, and we'll end up spending $5,000 more, $10,000 more, and that's eating up into our profits. But it's the nature of the business, you know. I don't know if that's what you were trying to get out of that question, but
yeah, like things. What is the one thing, or maybe your biggest loss in a deal? And it does happen to everybody, I would say, all the time. Budgets, once you start opening walls and opening the electrical panel boxes and you're gonna find termites and things underwater in the underground in the plumbing system. Like, things are going to happen. So what I do is I always tend to increase my budget 10-15% for the what ifs, you know, things that happen. That would be my lesson. But what would be one of the things that, if you can share like a specific example of one specific property where you lost some money because your contractor gave you a quote and you overpassed that? What could be one example that you can think of, you can remember?
Well, man, one of the houses that we own actually now in Orlando, we thought the roof was okay, and we ended up having to do the roof, which was an additional $8,000 expense. It's the nature of the business, man. It happens. We try to buy them where we have enough profit margin where it is what it is, and thank God to today I still haven't lost money on a deal. You know? Okay. We're pretty conservative with all the stuff that we do buy, and
like I say, shit happens. Like, so what did you learn from that? How did you overcome that?
Man, so to be honest, I'm gonna start now checking like the permitting records to see if they pulled any roofing permits in the last couple of years, or when was a roof done. So that way, because that one's happened to me already a couple of times, and to be honest, I think it's out of laziness of having to go online and check the county website. Okay. And but yeah, well, that's what we're gonna start doing to try to, you know, not buy a property that we know for sure. We weren't sure if it needs a roof or not. Now we would know depending on how old it is.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, and like I said, like many times in business, when you make a mistake, it's an expensive seminar, you know. So his seminar right there for that roof was $10,000, and I can't imagine how many roofs it's happened to, and it's happened to me and possibly every investor. That's why I'm doing the Shit Happens. I want to say it raw, the way it is, the way it happens, you know. Bobby, what is your? Tell me a little bit about how you became an investor. What brought you to become a real estate investor? What caught your attention in real estate?
So around 2011, I started working for a real estate brokerage company in Miami that they specialized in buying rental properties for like big funds. So I started working on the acquisitions department there, learned a lot, worked with a lot of great people there that are still, you know, good friends right now, and did that for a long time. We ended up, you know, getting additional clients that were bigger and, you know, and did things at a very large scale. And thank God I was able to set aside some money to now be able to, you know, be doing it on my own now for like the past 4 years now.
Awesome. And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or even 10 years?
To be honest, hopefully more financially free, and you know, I want to have more rental properties, have more passive income than I have right now.
That was my next question. What is for you? What is financial freedom?
Financial freedom, man, is to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. I think time is the most important asset that a lot of people they take it for granted. You know, now we have, like, for example, we have young kids. Want to be able to spend time with our kids, and this business lets me do that. You know?
Awesome.
It's a lot of flexibility and freedom, and hopefully with more rental properties or more cash flow businesses, I could do that even more.
Awesome.
If I really want to.
Awesome. And it comes down to the same thing, man. I believe that everybody's in business to have that freedom. Even though you lose your freedom for a few years or many years until you get to that point, it's a thing that every entrepreneur like you and me and many others are willing to sacrifice. I don't believe in the 40-year rule. Work 40 years, scale the ladder, and then retire when you're 65 if the government has enough money. That I learned at very young, and I just jumped and I started my journey, and I've sacrificed a lot, and I'm sure you have too, and many other investors and entrepreneurs have sacrificed a lot, money wise, time wise, working 7 days a week, like you said, 18-hour days, 16-hour days. It's not easy. But it all comes down to a goal, and I believe that the bigger the why, the smaller the how. If your why is big enough, the how is much easier. Now, to follow up with a question, what is your why?
My why is my family, man, to be honest with you. My kids, my wife. I want to be able to provide a better life than I had when I was growing up, because my parents didn't have a lot of money. And I was just telling you right now, they're going to be living in a lake house, and I want them to know that it's normal for kids to be able to have a nice house and and grow up and not have to worry about money and stress.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, if you were to start over, let's say something happened and South Florida just got invaded or flooded or whatever. What would you do? Would you go back to real estate? What would you do if you lose absolutely everything and you had to start from scratch?
100%. In real estate, you could make money fast if you know what you're doing. And you could make money in any market, really, on the upside or the downside.
Awesome. Love it. What is, if you can only leave, and this is my last question before I get to the fun round, if you could only leave one set of principles to your kids, what would it be?
Principles is, well, be honest. Don't BS people. I think that being real will get you a lot of places, will get you far. And people will appreciate that.
Awesome. Do you have a book that you can recommend to us, or a podcast, a YouTube? A lot of books. What is the one book that I would say changed your life? I do have one book that changed my life. What is the one book that probably?
To be honest, I know it's everybody's book is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Love that book. Another one is How to Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich, yeah.
And podcasts, man, there's a lot of them. Right now I'm listening to the Ed Milet podcast.
Okay.
And that guy is a beast.
Awesome, brother. Just to finish up before I get to the fun round, I asked the viewers if they can subscribe below to the channel, but one thing is they've heard it from me. Could you tell the viewers to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Please
subscribe. This guy's a man.
Thank you, brother. Now here's the fun round, man. A few questions, 10, 12 questions, very quick. Okay. They don't have anything to do with a business, just wanted to make a little fun thing to get to know you a little bit better. Short answers, all right? Okay. What advice would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Man, work and invest faster.
Okay.
To make more money in the future.
All right. What did you want to do when you were a kid?
Man, to be honest, I don't remember. A long time ago. But I would probably say like a police officer or something.
I wanted to be a cop. Yeah. Who was your idol when you were growing up?
Michael Jordan.
Mine too. Oh, damn, bro. Yeah. What was your favorite class in school?
English. I'm really good at writing. So.
Damn, I suck writing. Yeah. Mine was math. And your worst? I guess it was math?
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with a calculator, But...
All right. What do you always carry with you, but it's not your cell phone?
My wallet.
Okay. Favorite all-time movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
And sport? Favorite sport?
I love college football.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Not NFL?
I like NFL too.
Okay. What do you do after a long day of work to relax?
Drink a glass of wine.
Okay. And if you didn't do what you do today, what would you have loved to do?
Man, I actually love doing what I'm doing now, to be honest with you. I don't see myself doing anything else.
No, I understand, but you cannot be a real estate investor.
Okay.
You cannot do that. What would you have loved to do?
Man, I don't know. A rapper or something.
Okay. I would have loved to be like in sports, any sports, soccer, baseball, tennis, whatever. If you could spend a day with anybody in the world, this is the last question. If you could spend a day with anybody in the world, dead or alive,
Okay.
what would it be? Who would it be? And what would you ask him?
Like somebody like motivation or something like that.
Whoever, anybody.
And I would say Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Man,
That guy's a beast.
Yeah, he is. He's amazing. And
what would you ask him? Like,
sorry, my phone's going off here.
No problem.
Man, I would just pick his brain all day, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Everything.
I don't even know what I would ask him. You know.
Yeah. How do I increase my business?
Yeah. How can I make more money?
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe below if you like these. And don't forget the Shit Happens episodes every Friday. And Bobby, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it, my man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Alrighty.